गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुनतीरावनचारी यशोदनन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यामुनतीरावनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagvatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, the activities of Maharaj Priyavrata, Shloka number 2. Nanunam mukta sanganam tadrishanam vidarshabah griheshva abhiniveshoyam puman bhavitumarhati pumsam nanunam mukta sanganam tadrishanam dvijarshabah griheshvabhiniveshoyam pumsam bhavitumarhati nanunam mukta sanganam tadrishanam dvijarshabah griheshvabhinivesho ayam pumsam bhavitumarhati nanunam mukta sanganam drishanam dvijarshabah griheshvabhiniveshoyam pumsam bhavitumarhati nanunam mukta sanganam tadrishanam dvijarshabah griheshvabhiniveshoyam pumsam bhavitumarhati. Okay. Word to word meaning. Na, not. Nunam, certainly. Mukta sanganam, who are free from attachment. Tadrishanam, such. Dvija Rishabha, O greatest of the Brahmanas. Griheshu, to the family life, to family life. Abhiniveshaha, excessive attachment. I am this. Pumsam, of persons. Bhavitum, to be. Arhati, is possible. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Devotees are certainly liberated persons. Therefore, O greatest of the Brahmanas, they cannot possibly be absorbed in family affairs. Purport. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, it is said that by executing devotional service to the Lord, one can understand the transcendental position of the living being and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be understood by any means except bhakti. The Lord confirms this in Srimad Bhagvatam 11:14-21. Bhaktyaham ekaya grahyah. Only by executing devotional service one can appreciate me. Similarly, in Bhagavad Gita 18:55, Lord Krishna says, Bhaktya maam abhijanati. Simply by discharging devotional service one can understand me. Thus, for a bhakta to become attached to family affairs is impossible, since a bhakta and his associates are liberated. Everyone is searching after ananda or bliss, but in the material world there can never be any bliss. It is only possible in devotional service. Attachment for family affairs and devotional service are incompatible. Therefore, Maharaj Parikshit was somewhat surprised to hear that Maharaj Priyavrata was simultaneously attached to devotional service and to family life. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is a nice pastime, as nicely given the introduction yesterday. This is the family line of the like Uttanapad and Priyavrata. So these two are sons of Manu, and Uttanapad's dynasty is very nicely described. And Priyavrata Maharaj was, from the beginning, he was very renounced. He was not very much interested in the family life, and he was very renounced, and he was always absorbed in devotional service under the guidance of Narad Muni. So, but then later on, it was mentioned that he entered into family life, and also he, he relished, or he really got involved in the family life. So, and he really did a lot of activities, in this one of administration. So, like here Maharaj Parikshit is having this doubt, how can such a person who is very advanced in devotional life, and he can be also absorbed in family life. So here this particular point is mentioned. It is attachment to family affairs and devotional service are incompatible. So why it is incompatible? So that is the first subject that we will try to understand. So then after that, we will understand that how bhakti is the only means of attaining the knowledge. So the highest knowledge is the understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, the Supreme Lord Himself, and also the aspect of how the bhakti can actually arise, in a living entity's heart. So here we see why this is incompatible. Because there are two things that are there. So if we are attracted to the material things, so then it is not possible for us to get attracted to the spiritual things. So yesterday we were discussing this point that sukham atyantikam yattat buddhi grahyam atindriyam. So this Prabhupada often quotes this particular shloka. So the meaning of this is that, so the real happiness lies beyond the material blunt senses. So that means the real happiness is beyond the temporary things. Prabhupada uses many different this ones in different places. So on the way to Krishna, so Prabhupada mentions that the real happiness is beyond the temporary things, right? So if we are attached to the material objects objects which are created by the temporary material nature, so then it is obvious that we are not attracted to the Supreme Lord. So when a person is fully attached or fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, so then he will not get the attraction towards the material things. So even we see that many times, when devotees come in contact with Krishna consciousness, we see that so they gradually lose attraction to the material stuff, and then they start developing attachment to the holy name and Bhagavatam and things like that. So how is it possible? Because of param drishtva nivartate. So because of the some level of understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, so they are able to give up the material things. Otherwise it is not possible. So these two are incompatible. It is even mentioned that the test of advancement in Krishna consciousness is that a person loses the material taste. So this is very nicely explained in a shloka which we many times discussed this particular shloka. So that is Bhakti Paresha Anubhava Virakti Anyatra Chaisa Trakayeka Kala Prapadyamanasya Yatasnatasya Stushti Pushti Shuddhapayo Nagasha. How many of you memorized this shloka? Okay. This is nice shloka to memorize and even contemplate also. One's own contemplation, it helps a lot. So, Bhakti, Paresha Anubhava and Virakti. So, Bhakti means devotion to the Lord. Paresha Anubhava means his direct experience of the Lord. And Virakti is detachment from material things, or losing taste for the material things. So, now these three things, how it actually comes. So, it says Prapadyamanasya. So, when I surrender to the Supreme Lord. So, surrender, again, we have 6 principles are there. So, like that is Anukulyasha Sankalpa, Pratikulyasha Varjanam, and then Rakshayashiti Vishwasho, Gopataranam Tata, and Atmanikshepa and Karpanya. So, these 6 elements, when we are trying to practice these 6 elements, so then these 3 effects we can actually see. And it is also given, an example is given that just like when we take the morsel of food, so we have the Tushti, Pushti and Shuddhapaya. So Tushti is satisfaction, Pushti is nourishment, and Shuddhapaya is the reduction of hunger. So these 3 things simultaneously and progressively happens. So in the same way, if somebody asks a devotee, did you have like darshan of the Lord? So a neophyte devotee will say like, no, who am I to have darshan of the Lord? No, darshan of the Lord is very lofty thing. It is not possible, and things like that. But a person who is educated in the scriptures, he will say that yes, I have darshan of the Lord. So what is the proof that is darshan of the Lord? Yes, I am able to hear the names of the Lord, so that's the darshan of the Lord. I am able to see the deity, form of the Lord, that's the darshan of the Lord. And I am able to get rid of some of the material attachments which I had before. So, like, I am able to get rid of it, so that means, I am having darshan of the Lord. It may not be tangible. So, Srila Prabhupada actually says in this one that, why are we giving so much importance to the eyes? So, like, we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So, like, we can see through the eyes and get some knowledge, and we can actually hear and get some knowledge, and we can actually have touch, and we can actually have smell. So, when we are offered the flowers, flowers are offered to the Lord, and then it is brought to us for like smelling. So that is also darshan of the Lord. So through the smell, right? And when we are hearing the names of the Lord, or we are hearing the Srimad Bhagvatam, which is the glories of the Lord. So this is actually darshan of the Lord. So if we are doing this darshan, there is one aspect that is very much nicely inculcated in our morning program, is the glories of the holy name. So in the form of Sikshashtakam, and then the offenses, like we need to know the right way to approach the absolute truth, and we need to know what are the offenses that we need to avoid. So if we avoid the offenses, and then if we practice the etiquette, so and we go forward, so then the Lord's darshan is easily available. And when this darshan happens, when we surrender unto the Lord in this like following the 6 principles, and then we follow the etiquettes and we avoid the offenses, so then the 3 things that happens is we develop the bhakti, and then we get the direct experience of the Lord, and then we lose taste for the material things. These things have to these things simultaneously and progressively it keeps happening. It is not that one fine day suddenly, as we see in the films, suddenly with lot of sound and visual effects, the Lord actually appears. In drama also it happens like that. So the Lord suddenly he appears. So that is the neophyte understanding of this one. So before appearing there, like we see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, Lord appeared in the front. So before that, the Lord appeared in the heart. So before that, the Lord appeared in the form of the spiritual master. So the Lord appeared, the appearance of the Lord is progressively and progressively increasing, right? So the perception and the appearance of the Lord, it progressively increases. So this is the aspect, this is the way of, actually going forward in Krishna consciousness. And if we see this, always these 2 things are taken as the opposites, inversely proportional. So bhakti and the attachment to the material things. So these are always taken as, always it is put in the inversely proportional equation. So we see another shloka, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayada Hetukam. So Jnanam means a direct experience of the Lord, and this one Vairagya. So Vairagya is the distaste towards the material, this one. So this is always, it is the case. And why specifically here it is mentioned as family affairs? So the material life means a family life. No, that is the effective way of having all the material facilities. So if somebody is like, no, I will get the pleasures of the family life without being committed to the family life, so then he will not be able to have the fullest pleasure that he is expecting actually from the material life. So even from the economic point of view, Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, I think 6th canto or 7th canto somewhere, so he writes this thing that if a country has to do well in economy, so then people have to be married and there should be like proper family life. No, otherwise the economy will not flourish, right? So materialism without family life means it is not a very good formula. No, even materially also people cannot be happy without a proper family life. So generally, like whenever it is talked about the materialism, so it talks about the family life. So the family life, where a person has his own property, his own objects for sense gratification, and then in a legal way, he is actually having all the facilities to enjoy the material happiness. So this is symbolic. Always it is mentioned that family affairs and devotional service are incompatible. So this is mentioned in this way. So now devotional service, like when it is mentioned as family affairs here, so it is talking about the aspects of family affairs without devotional service. There are families, like yesterday very nicely Prabhuji was mentioning, that many exalted devotees who are family men, like Bhaktivinoda Thakur and many examples actually we can see, even Prithu Maharaj, Yudhishthir Maharaj. So these all people were like family men. So but then they were also considered to be exalted devotees. So in this case, the devotional service, what is there, it actually overpowers the material condition. So devotional service is not limited to any material condition. So devotional service overpowers the material condition. So in such a case, so they are not considered to be attached to the family affairs. They are considered to be great Vaishnavas. So now, so this is the this one. It is mentioned the attachment to family affairs and devotional service are incompatible. If somebody is like very much hankering for material growth, somebody is like telling that, no, Prabhu, I want to accumulate lot of wealth, or I want to become successful in my material life like this, and he has lots of plans for material life, and then he says like, I want to advance in bhakti also. So it is like very incompatible desires, two incompatible desires that are there. Of course, in neophyte stage, we have such incompatible desires. So then when we progress in either one of the directions, so we give up one of the desires. So we see that there are many examples in our own lives we would have seen. So people had this high expectation in both this one. Somebody grew in spiritual life and they gave up material life, and somebody grew in the material life, they gave up spiritual life. So they reduce the chanting and then they become very big businessman, or they do startup, and then so they also live in Bangalore and the devotee also lives in Bangalore, and the materialist also lives in Bangalore. So in this way, we see that. So people give up either one of them. So because it is incompatible, we cannot simultaneously progress in both of them. So but if somebody is progressing in both of them simultaneously, that means it is the will of the Lord. Like sometimes a devotee like Yudhishthir Maharaj, he is very rich person, and in fact to increase his richness and things like that, he had sent all his brothers in different directions and conquered the entire world, and he became an emperor of the entire world. So somebody may say no, he has got such a great ambition, how can he be a devotee? No, so he became like that because the Lord wanted. Lord wanted him to rule the world, so he also accepted that, and he wanted also to rule the world. So it is compatible with the Lord's desire. So then it becomes devotional service. Even Arjuna, fighting for kingdom, So it is like fighting for kingdom is material thing. But Krishna wants him to rule the kingdom. Krishna wants him to fight. So then he does that. So then it becomes devotional service. So it is one of the formulas that we have is that how to know, like for them Krishna was personally present and he was telling that no, you do this, and for us how we will know? So one is that we get the sanction of the spiritual master, so that is one thing. And another practical aspect which can be applied in our day-to-day life, in every sphere of our life, is that we try a little bit, and then with little bit of endeavor, so what we actually get in the material side, in little bit of endeavor, what we actually can get, that is what is meant for us. Just for example, health. So if somebody is like very much having some health issue, and he tries like what is normally advisable for taking care of the health. He has done all those things, and then like still the health is not getting improved. So then he should take it as this is the will of the Lord. So he should just simply try to focus on Krishna consciousness. So, and then then we say, even devotees also, we see that Prabhupada, his Bhagavad Gita was stolen many times. He wrote and it was stolen. So 2 times it was stolen, and 3rd time he wrote. One time to study Bhagavad Gita is so difficult. Prabhupada wrote 3 times, whole Gita. So it is very difficult actually. So why he was so much adamant, so much he was like bent upon? Because it was clear instruction by his spiritual master to write books, to distribute, to propagate Krishna consciousness. So it was a very, very clear instruction. So when the instruction is very clear, so we have to go behind it, and we have to be like very determined to execute it, even if we face any number of failures. So, but then, for the material things, how much, I have to do a material thing. Try a little bit and see if it is not like working out, so then it is not meant for me. If it is meant for me, then with little bit of endeavor I should be able to get it. So if with little bit of endeavor or a legitimate endeavor I am not able to get it, so then it is not for me. So then I should just simply focus on Krishna consciousness and not waste my time in that particular direction. Right. So with this we see that the devotees also sometimes they flourish in the material aspects. It is because the Lord wants it. Just like Sudama also, like he flourished in material aspects because the Lord, it is blessed by the Lord. So even the wealth and power and the material aspects, if it is blessed by the Lord, it will not disturb a devotee. But if it is as it is mentioned that 5 factors of action, so one of the thing is chesta, endeavor is also there. So with like very strong endeavor, we can get a lot of things in this material world, so which is not ideally supposed to be our possession. So if we try to get things by force, by our endeavor, by excess endeavor, so that particular thing will not fit in our system. Our life is meant, based on our past karma, our life is designed in a particular way. So, but then if by over endeavor, if we get certain things, so then it is not going to like help us, because it is, our life is not designed for it. And we will simply, have trouble because of those material facilities. If somebody is not meant to be a crorepati, and by endeavor he became a crorepati, that will be his nightmare. So that will be his like problem of his life, right? So but if somebody is supposed to be a crorepati and he becomes a crorepati, he will be peaceful. He will not be having so much of tension actually. So now we see that like we should not over endeavor in the material things, and with little bit of endeavor, so what we actually get in the material thing, so that is what is ideally meant for us. And we should, rest of the thing, we should be able to focus on Krishna consciousness. So for different people, this one is there. So if somebody says like, how can I become peaceful? So like the Vedic scriptures will ask, if he is a Vedic person, so Vedic the scriptures will ask like, who are you? If that person is a Kshatriya, so then the scriptures will say like, at least you need to have a small kingdom. Then you can be peaceful. So if he is a Vaishya, so then he will be told like, at least you should have some little bit of possession. Then a little bit of money, little bit of business, and some way of making money and things like that. So then you will be peaceful. If the person is a Shudra, if he asks like, how can I be peaceful? So then the scriptures will say like, you need to find a master, who can engage you properly. And then if he is a Brahmana, so then like the scriptures will say like, you need to give up your material possessions and focus on study of scriptures and the Brahmana's duties. So this one it is not a one common rule how to actually become peaceful. So materially a person has to be peaceful no, that is when he will be able to execute Krishna consciousness. So, like, this is the Varnashrama system actually focuses on this particular point: how to make people, how to engage people according to their material natures, so that they'll become peaceful and they can be focused. They can actually focus on progressing in Krishna consciousness. So, and the method of the Bhakti Yoga process is also like very much similar. So, if we can somehow or other like focus on this particular aspect of advancement in Krishna consciousness, advancement in Param Drishta Nivartate. So, if by expert engagement by a spiritual master, if somebody can actually advance in like having the darshan of the Lord. So, having the darshan of the Lord means, like as we discussed before, through any of the means, like any of the five senses, right from 1% to like 0.5% to any percentage. We have a little bit of or progressive revelation of the Lord. So then we will be satisfied. Then we can actually become satisfied. So that is like hardcore Bhakti Yoga process. So generally Bhakti Yoga is also mixed with the Varnashrama system, so that some principles of Varnashrama is accepted, so that the living entity is peaceful, and then he can actually advance in Bhakti. So now this material advancement and Krishna consciousness is incompatible, but still, just to like we are made of this material mind and material desires and things like that. So just to keep them at peace, certain material activities are prescribed, which are dharmic and which are according to the scriptures. And then we see the next point is that Bhakti is the only means for attaining the Supreme Lord. So, like from the 11th canto it is quoted, Bhakti aham ekaya grahya. So, only through the process of Bhakti, I can be understood. So, the Lord is mentioning here. And Bhaktya maam abhijanati. So, the Supreme Lord can be understood only by the process of Bhakti. So, why we need to understand the Supreme Lord? Because we have the understanding of the absolute truth is mentioned in three phases: Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. And the Lord is non-different from Bhagavan. So, and Bhaktya maam abhijanati. So, to understand Him is the highest form of realization of the absolute truth, and that is possible only by Bhakti. So, why it is not possible by other means is we have to understand the this one. So, last few times we have been focusing on this particular point. So, are we doing Bhakti Yoga? That is something that we have to keep questioning ourselves and introspecting ourselves, and it is a very nice introspection actually. So Bhakti Yoga means it is performed by taking shelter of the Lord. That is the primary aspect. Taking shelter of the Lord, depending on the Lord. These are all some of the important aspects. So Bhakti Yoga is not performed in a ritualistic way that I will follow certain rules and regulations and I will get the result. No, it is not like that. So Bhakti Yoga also has rules and regulations, but we follow them with the understanding of I need to take shelter of the Lord, and whatever the Lord blesses upon me, that is my fortune. So that is the mood in which the Bhakti Yoga is actually executed. And in other yoga systems, because it doesn't have the component of taking shelter of the Lord, so our component of dependent on the Lord, fully, so the Lord is not revealed completely. He can only be revealed in his partial features of Brahman and Paramatma, so he cannot be revealed fully. So through other processes. So that is why the Bhakti process is specifically mentioned here. So, and are we doing Bhakti Yoga? So this is something that is very, very essential. So today, it is a very nice contemplation for me that today my chanting session did not go well. So it is why, because there are some problems that are there, and I was trying to contemplate and to see how can I solve this problem. And when I'm doing this contemplation, I was trying to get back, saying that no, I should not contemplate. Right now I am sitting here to take shelter of the Lord. So I should hear the names of the Lord and take shelter of Him, and He can offer the solution very easily. So, but then the mind is keep on cheating. No. So you can do this solution, that solution, and things like that. So in the battle, all 16 rounds is finished, and so in vain, not being able to take shelter of the Lord. So, but the thing is that no, if we keep having this battle, no, some days we'll be able to take shelter of the Lord and we will make some advancement, and someday the material nature will, no, successfully cheat us and do not allow us to focus on the names, right? So, like, but anyways, so it is glorious that we are sat in the battle. We fought the battle. That itself is glorious. Even if we are defeated, it's not a problem. Like, we are there in the battle. So we have not stepped back, from the battle. So that is important. So, but at least the understanding is there that, our own solutions, our own contemplation and our own solutions is not going to help us. We have to take shelter of the Lord, and when the Lord offers a solution, so that will be perfect actually. So that is that conviction, so we should actually have, and like even in the form of Srimad Bhagvatam. So when we study Srimad Bhagvatam, we this is the sound vibration, the Lord in the form of sound vibration, and we should allow the sound vibration to master us. And it is not that we trying to master the shlokas, we trying to memorize the shlokas. So we are trying to take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is the master, the holy name is the master, and we are trying to be the servant, and we should try to offer ourselves as the servant of this particular aspect of the Supreme Lord. So when the Lord comes as the sound vibration, so we serve the Lord by the way of hearing the sound vibration. And when the Lord comes as the prasadam, we serve the Lord by the way of tasting. And when the Lord comes in the different forms, so we serve the Lord in a particular way actually, right? So when we do that service, so when we and also take shelter of the Lord, be dependent on the Lord, so then we will be able to see the transformation. So if we act as the master, in front of the holy name, in front of Srimad Bhagavatam, so then the Bhakti Yoga process is not happening. So we will be able to master, or we will be able to probably memorize a lot of shlokas, or we will be able to get the intricacies of different logics that are there and things like that and all. So but until unless we see Srimad Bhagavatam as master, and then we take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, or we take shelter of the holy name, so it is not possible for us to get the revelation of the Lord. And till the time we get the revelation of the Lord, we will not be able to give up the material sense gratification, or we will not be able to give up the attraction to the material things, and not being able to get attraction to the Supreme Lord, so we will always be frustrated. At least the materialistic people, they have varieties of material things to enjoy. Like here we see that devotees wear one color kurta, one color dhoti, and then standard menu. Like sometimes feast also is there, so but most of the time it's standard menu. And then many of the things are standardized in the material things. There is not much of variety that is there. So at least material variety should be there, or spiritual variety should be there. So materially also everything is static, and spiritually also no progress. So kaha jayega? So he'll become frustrated actually. So we have made why we actually advise devotees not to wear color kurta, and different varieties of kurta and things like that, because we want to become materially static, so that we can spiritually we can do some we can start our spiritual journey and explore something spiritually. So in materially also only we are exploring, har din alag alag kurta, usme alag, ye, oh, and things like that. Where we will, where we will explore the spiritual things, right? So in that way, we see that somehow or other we want to progress spiritually, and for that we need to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. So, and the material nature's biggest weapon is that to say that, why you need to lower your head in front of anybody, right? So bhakti bhi hak se lenge hum, we will do devotional service with straight head, head up, and then we will perform in such a way bhakti the Lord will come. It's not like that. We have to lower our head, we have to offer obeisances, we have to take shelter of the Lord, and we have to be dependent on the Lord, right? So, and for anything and when the problems come, so that is in fact for a devotee it is very nice. When problem come, we need solution, and there is two choices. I can work out a solution, or I can take shelter of the Lord. And when the Lord becomes very merciful, He gives such problems that we cannot work out solution. We have to take shelter of Him only. And when the Lord is little bit merciful, He will give little bit problem. So where we can also find some solution, or we can take shelter of the Lord. So, and when the devotee is intelligent, he is taking shelter of the Lord. So then the Lord encourages him and he takes forward. When the devotee is not very intelligent, then the Lord gives bigger problem. So इस time इसके पास solution है ही नहीं, मेरे पास ही आना पड़ेगा. So इतना बड़ा problem दे दिया. So then the living entity actually comes to take shelter of the Lord. अब तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ. So I need to like have your shelter. And we practically take shelter of the Lord by the way of like allowing ourselves to be allowing ourselves to hear the names of the Lord and hear the Srimad Bhagvatam carefully. So by doing that, we will be able to like access the Lord, and also following the etiquette and avoiding the offenses. That is also very important aspect. So like by doing this, so we will be able to get the revelation of the Lord, and more the Lord reveals Himself, so more we will be able to advance in Krishna consciousness, and more we advance, so more we will get the distaste or virakti from the material sense objects. So with this I pause today's discussion. Any questions or comments can take it. Yeah, 100% endeavor in what? Okay, their studies and things like. Yeah, they have accepted this one as like as a student or as a this one. So now we see that like if we tell this particular aspect, one-sided aspect, you just put your 100% and you will get result. And if he is not getting result, for example, like many of the times people actually are pushed into a particular course, because of peer pressure, because of family pressure. You have to become an engineer. You have to become like this. You have to go to foreign country, and especially from Andhra, so like it is, it is so much. Like one of our devotees, he was there. I don't remember the name. I don't want to tell the name also. So he was not very good in his studies, and he was not getting job. His parents actually tied him on the gate and they bet him. You have to go to foreign country. Even if you clean the toilet also, no problem, you have to go to US. That is the state of Andhra. So it is like very much, so you have to somehow or other land up in the holy land of United States. And such people, when they take up, when they go to engineering and they're not able to perform well, and you give one-sided counseling of you just put your 100% and you will come up. And this person is not very much intelligent to score over there. So then, like after counseling also he'll become depressed. I put my 100%, whatever best possible I put, but still I could not able to get, the rank that is there. So we see that like then the partial this one is not very good actually. So one aspect of there is two extreme aspects are there. One is called idealism, another is like called the candidates who are doing getting into depression, where I cannot do anything. So that is one side. Another side is whatever I do, I should do like so pakka that there should not be any flaw at all in this. That is idealism. So both of them are like in different forms of depression actually. So some people, they'll be able to maintain idealism because they are perfect. And it is not in general, like we see that everybody will not be like that. So not everybody can score first rank, not everybody can be can excel in everything that they do. So they should do 100%. And also we should teach them that shloka, that daiva labdena santosha, or like what is that? There are many quotes in this one, that whatever by the will of the Lord, that comes, we should take it, with satisfaction. Right? We should be satisfied. So that also a principle that we should, teach them. So we have become a student, so give your 100% on that. Whatever is legitimately to be done as a student, you should do. But at the same time, understand that, whether you are able to score well or not, that is not there in our hands. That's the Lord's wish. So, you should be satisfied just by doing your duty. Right? So, anytime we give a promise based on result, you do this nicely, you will get a good result. Then you have just sown a seed for depression in that person. So anytime result is there in picture, so it is definitely going to, either it is going to give a material happiness or material distress. And both of them are two different ways of distress only actually. So we should try to see that, you do your duty nicely. That is a Vedic way of encouraging this one. And then do your bhakti also nicely. In that way we can actually encourage. So but if we add this element saying that, give your 100%, you will get good result. No, if you talk about result, then you are gone. No, that is not the proper this one. No, people will want results, but we will talk about duty only because result is not there in our hand. Like that. Does it solve? No. Any other questions or? Yes, Paul.
Linking between God's plan and our endeavors. Sometimes also we are thinking like that when it is God's will. Sometimes also we have to push ourselves. How do we live?
So God's plan is generally revealed, through the medium of spiritual master or through the medium of the devotees and through the authorities and things like that. So when we get that, we follow. So that is the general way of getting it. So what I was mentioning was some trivial things, some small things that are there. So and where we may not be able to get such granular advice from our superiors and things like that. So we should also have this particular aspect that if something is by force, it is coming. So and we have tried our best to stop it, and we are not able to stop it. So then we should take it as the plan of the Lord. That is the will of the Lord. Just health crisis, so many times health crisis happens. And then we try to avoid them, by general medication and whatever is best possible that is there. And if even then it is not going, so then we should understand that it is will of the Lord. So that is there like that. Or sometimes poverty, people lose everything and then they try their best to recover and it is not possible to recover, then they should understand that it is beyond my capacity, it is the will of the Lord. So now I should just I should do my minimum and I should focus on Krishna consciousness. So if that is not there, then just to saturate that poverty, so then we work hard, so then we lose Krishna consciousness. That is not very advisable.
Especially the
Yeah.
So how to understand? Because in spiritual life, it's like we're doing it for the Lord. So we have to keep doing it till we attain that, or something like that.
So this is for material things. And spiritually, we see that we have got this instruction of making 100 centers and things like that. And it is definitely not possible to open 100 centers if we don't go through all this tribulations and things like that. So that's why I was citing this example of Prabhupada again and again writing, even after 2 times his manuscripts were stolen. So why he has to do that? Because it is clear direction that is given. Spiritually, that's a place where we have to put endeavor. So materially, the material things are this one in such a way that how much is needed, that much karke we have to move forward, right? So like that.
Spiritually, you just keep doing it. Doesn't matter.
Spiritually, again, guidance of the superiors are taken actually. So it is not done whimsically also. like you have taken the this one proper consultation. With proper consultation, we have gone ahead. So, and we can see that if it is done without proper consultation, so then we may have a doubt whether this much endeavor should have been put or not. So, but if consultation is done, so then, like, no, yeah, at least we have not engaged in over endeavor. So our superior might have engaged in over endeavor, but at least we are safe. You know, one level of security is there. So, and we are working towards that goal of making this one, you know, endeavoring for that. Yes, Paul.
You were telling like on one's without one's own endeavor, if he becomes a Karorpati, he does not have any problem. Like he does not undergo any tribulation. One's own endeavor, if he somehow tries and he gets that, then he may have some tribulation. Right? So, if one's own endeavor, how can he become a Karorpati Brahmani? Because if his karma does not allow him, how he can overcome the karma?
That is the power of the endeavor. No, this, if you see, like, first of all, like, question itself, there is a correction. Without endeavor, nothing will happen. You know, all the 5 factors of action must be there. So, a Karorpati who becomes also have to put some endeavor, right? So, but then if he is doing over endeavor, he can get a little bit beyond what he can possibly can get. So, but then that is going to be a trouble for him. That's going to be a trouble for him. And it is what is that? This particular aspect we have seen many times that happens. Like a person who's not supposed to have that kind of this one, he will lose. It is not going to be there with him. And even the time when it is there with him, he is going to be miserable with that particular thing actually. So if you see in the modern day, there is a big this one that is going on, big movement that is going on. It's based on willpower. If you have willpower, you can do anything. Yeah, you can do anything, but you will be like, if it is not meant, that you have to do that particular thing, you will be miserable. That aspect they don't know. So they have taken one of the 5 aspects of, the action, and they have focused on one aspect, endeavor or the willpower and the focus and things like that. So definitely it will produce result because it is Vedic. It is some rule that is given by the Lord. So if you put a lot of endeavor, you will be able to move things. You may not be able to move a lot, but you will be able to move things, right? So, like if you are supposed to be there in this level, if you jump, you can actually hit this level, hit another level, but you cannot sustain, you will come down, So, but even that is an exertion and you will not be able to be there in that position, comfortably actually, So like that.
So in that Prahlad Maharaj shloka, which is there, so how to understand?
We'll not be able to get even an inch beyond what we are supposed to get. Yeah, we'll not be able to get an inch beyond what we are supposed to get comfortably, right? So, this by endeavor and force, something that is attained, that is not going to be like very this one. Both the things have to be put in.
If the person doesn't have piety, then he cannot get anything. So, does not get any profit.
He doesn't get any profit.
And the person who does not have sin will not be affected. It doesn't matter how much ever is endeavored.
Yeah. So this over endeavor has some this one, but it is very, very transient, and it doesn't give much of this one actually. So it's in a different means that particular aspect is also there, and this aspect I have heard from when the endeavor aspect is explained. I've heard in some classes this particular aspect that if we over endeavor, we may get some this one, but it is not going to be like beneficial for us. It is going to be a trouble for us actually.
One example in this case of over endeavor is the example of King Anga. He did not have a son in his fate according to his piety, but he approached the Lord, and out of mercy the Lord gave something that actually helped him also. But sometimes people don't approach the Lord, but still out of mercy the Lord gives them just to make them understand that this is
Yeah. And also the demons, they perform Gaur Tapasya, to attain something. right? So they get it, but then it is short-lived, and also it is very troublesome for themselves and also for others also, like like that. Yes.
Regarding the question which came in the subject question, so there are two ways in which material endeavor and spiritual endeavor functions. Material endeavor, the Bhagavatam says, be like a cow. You make the cow stand anywhere, it is satisfied, happy, it gets grass, doesn't need to move forward. But spiritual endeavor is like an ant. Sometimes we have an understanding that this is what I want to do, but then Krishna frustrates the plan and puts us in another direction. Just like an ant is moving, you put an obstacle and force the ant move in some other direction, the ant will move with same enthusiasm in another direction. Sometimes we are trying to execute things for Krishna, and Krishna just changes our plan, and we should continue with the same enthusiasm and readjust our plan according to the plan of Krishna. So we have to keep trying, but we have to not be attached to the plan also, because Krishna's plan, like Prabhupada says, Krishna's plan is actual plan, all other plans are astral plans. So in that ant mentality, we have to endeavor for spiritual things without too much attachment to our plans. But in material life, we have to be like a cow. Jaan khada kiya, have some grass and
Amazing. ठीक है, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, गौर भक्तवृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.